This is Andrew Vontz, and you're listening to Choose the Hard Way, the show about how hard things build stronger people who have more fun. We're coming to you live right now from Pace Ranch. This is Winter Storm 2026, the Abandon Your Family 500 live at Pace Ranch, brought to you by blockchain.com. If you crypto with blockchain.com with over $1 trillion of transactions trusted to blockchain.com. To date, they are your trusted source for all things crypto. And I love my Lauf Utald. I had a great time on it here in Tucson. We're going to talk about it a little bit. And if you're ready to step up your communication game and become a world-class communicator in open-ended dynamic contexts, internal or external, and you're a senior leader, politician, or professional athlete, I know we have some of the top politicians in the world listening to this show right now.
Probably Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, reach out to me at hello@onerealvoice.com, or you can always DM me at HardwayPod. I have two very special guests here today. Spencer Martin from did I just touch your foot?
You did.
All right.
I thought it was
from
nice.
Yeah, from the Beyond the Peloton podcast and newsletter, and of course the inimitable, indomitable Jonathan Kaplan from Riding With. It has been a big week here in Tucson, and I think let's just go ahead and dive into the Abandon Your Family live experience. The first topic I would like to address, I'm a little bit concerned, Jonathan, that you might have a Normatec addiction. Spencer and I have been wanting to talk to you all week. Spencer, go ahead.
Yeah, what were we worried about? The blood pressure increases from 3+ hours of Normatex a day. Are there any studies related to this? Well, actually, but let's not. That's accusatory. I just want to know.
Fair enough.
Sorry. I just want to know how do you feel when you're in the Normatec? Like, I want to know, like, where you are when you're in the Normatec booth.
Usually I'm at One Life Fitness on Wisconsin Avenue.
But emotionally, where does it take you?
Oh, to a place where that blocks out the whole world. It's just me. I'm with my favorite person.
Jonathan, do you feel like you're only the maximum version of yourself when the Normatecs are applying pressure?
I think better. I think better. It clears my mind. And it looks weird. So people, first of all, there's only 3 chairs. Usually one of the pairs doesn't work or is broken, or a chair is broken. So basically you're left alone in this kind of dark, calming room. And, I could just sit there, do some work, think, listen to music, listen to a podcast.
But what would you say about this week specifically? I think I saw you go through north of 50 Normatec cycles today. Do you feel you've been sufficiently compressed?
It just feels good, man.
Fair enough.
We've discovered this week we all have very specific sensory demands.
How about that?
Need to be deep pressure. We can't have certain foods visible to us. For me, it's ranch dressing, mayo, onions.
No onions. Oh my God.
Yeah,
No
Andrew and I
onions.
were just going through the foods that kind of viscerally make us ill on the way home from dinner tonight.
And we didn't have any of those at dinner tonight. What we did have was some really delicious Mexican food over at Guadalajara.
Yeah, but not Guadalajara's the original. I think it was a Guadalajara Grill and Tequila Bar.
East.
And it was a very convenient location from, we should say, Pace Ranch. Thank you, Pam, for letting us stay at Pace Ranch. We love Pace Ranch. Pace Ranch for all your Tucson cycling needs.
It really doesn't get much better than Pace Ranch. This has been the second year here. Pretty incredible experience. Spencer and Jonathan, you have not been taking advantage of the infrared sauna, but I've been going out there and sweating to the oldies every day, and it's been phenomenal. I invite you to join me for one final sweat before we leave. I do want to say we had a pretty tense moment, a bit of a standoff at the table after the tableside salsa was made, which was
That was something.
It was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. She definitely blitzed us. Like, we're just sitting there minding our business. It's like,
Yeah.
Phew, I thought it was like one of these, you want to buy a rose situation. It's like, no, man, no, we don't need whatever's in this bucket.
I have to say the presence of the tip jar with cash with no Venmo option made me feel extremely awkward because there was a lot of heart and soul going into the assembly of the tableside salsa. There's a roasted jalapeno. I don't know if you saw that. There's a roasted jalapeno that went in with the mortar and pestle.
I had an image of my empty wallet in my mind. I have nothing to give you. Perhaps 10 pounds. Would you like that? That's of no use to you. I felt, quite put on the spot, actually. It was like, I don't wish someone would have given me
not what I was expecting when we ordered chips and salsa. It was delicious. I don't know about you. I actually wanted to go for a round 2 on the salsa. We were running low, and I decided I couldn't have an experience that's socially awkward a second time.
It was. Should we set? So we're just to back up 1 second. We did the big ascent of Mount Lemmon today, and then afterward we went to dinner with our friend Dan Swenson at Guadalajara's. And why did we go there, Andrew? Because we need to go to
a Mexican restaurant every night when we're in Tucson, due to the paucity of Mexican food options in the state of Maine.
Yeah, and I thought a little bit of a jackpot tonight.
It was really good,
and it had a sombrero lamp.
The lamps above each table was a sombrero lamp.
Yeah, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah, and then there, of course, was the controversial ordering of the combo plate when I asked if I could add literally any a la carte item. I began to probe after there's a refusal of adding a chili relleno kicker.
Yeah, no a la carte items.
No, I'm sorry. That's simply not possible. You'd have to get
heard that before.
You'd have to get the chili relleno combo if you wanted to have a 2-item combo and then add a third item. I then asked, could I get the chili relleno combo and add an a la carte taco? The answer was no. Strictly no a la carte policy. And that's when they got aggressive and tried to simply price me out of the chili relleno market.
Yeah, because you pressed her. She named a price that I think she thought nobody would say yes to. And you said yes.
Yeah.
They could ask for double, I think.
When in Tucson.
When in Tucson, you have to do it.
When in Tucson. Jonathan, tell us a little bit about your process today, evaluating the temperature and what to wear.
Well, the other thing, the idiosyncrasies, I have to wear a base layer. I just can't wear a jersey.
In fact, you asked to wear mine today.
Guys, I only brought one. I forgot to pack a short sleeve base layer because, of course, we're not going to wear. It's going to be cold, like it was last year. Except it wasn't cold because when it's cold here, it's actually warm. When it's warm, it feels cold. So I never know how to dress. But I did well today, with just shorts, the Rafa Breve jersey. I did wear a Vuori shirt under it as a base layer,
and I wore
a vest.
Yes. And I think there's a lesson here about packing for a cycling trip anywhere. Spencer, I'm going to let you step in.
What's the lesson? To always pack a short sleeve base layer.
I actually learned this a long time ago, and I think somehow you kind of found a way not to do SBT. I had the experience there as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry. They just couldn't get me in the event. There's the promoter messaging me. You can definitely race this race. I'm sorry. There's just no more entries for me.
Yeah. This happened at BWR, and then Tour de Tucson really underscored it for me, which is anytime you're traveling for an event that starts early in the morning, you're going to have to negotiate this situation where you're going to have a big swing in temperature, especially if it's in the desert.
Yeah.
And I thought I had brought every possible combination of clothing items I might need for Tour de Tucson. One thing I did not bring, because I'm not using these a lot in civilian life anymore, I did not bring arm warmers. And hear me out.
Civilian life anymore.
Yeah. It made me there was a period of deep reflection. I had to go into the mountains above Hope for an extended period of time. And I pledged going forward that anytime I went somewhere with a big temperature differential throughout the day, always thermal base layer, long sleeve, cool, thin base layer, short sleeve base layer, arm warmers. And I picked up a pair of Primal arm warmers. I left the Tour de Tucson prologue dinner discreetly to see if I could go purchase some in the expo area.
Yeah.
It's the Greek feast. I don't know if you remember it, Spencer.
Oh, I remember it well.
Yeah. So I snuck away from the table with Bobby Julik, George Henkapi, yourself, others.
And what was that? Remember the winner of? It was the winner from 2 years.
Oh yeah, just a very modest young man.
Do you remember his name?
I don't remember his name,
it's
but
on the tip of my. This guy was unbelievable.
He's like the Matt Damon of the Tour de Tucson.
Yeah, and then,
right?
so
the Goodwill Hunting of the
and
Tour
he was
de Tucson.
fade to like I'm a normal person. I'm a normal guy, just like you guys. And then I'm just here for my dad. We meet him again in the starting pen the next day. He's like, I'm behind George Chencap. He's like, this spot's no good. I gotta get on a different wheel. I was like, dude, it's Noah. Noah is his name. And he's like, I gotta get on a different wheel. And that's the last time I saw him because I'm sure he was in the front group all day.
You know, we had carved meat with him. I feel like next year maybe he could give us the toe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
bring arm warmers. I picked up the Primal ones. They're a super thin material, but they're really great for weather like today. Where on Lemmon, I think it was like 54, low 50s when we started. Here in the valley, it got up to 70. It was quite warm.
It felt near 100 degrees.
Yes.
When we were in the sun in the valley. It was so hot.
At the top of Lemmon, or I don't know what that portion of Lemmon is called. It's not the cookie store. It's the official Lemmon segment.
The Strava segment.
It had to be, I'm going to say low 40s up there.
Yeah, I was up there early around daybreak this morning, and the road was we're watching a criterium right now, and an unknown Ineos rider just won. It also looks like one of the hardest crits I've ever seen, but it was like ice on the road. It was that cold up there. So it is like a massive temperature differential.
So Jonathan, arm warmers.
I did. I had them, but I didn't need them. I took them off right away.
You sound a little defensive.
But so let's say you're on a desert island. You only have a cycling jersey and your bike. What?
Just shorts?
No shorts.
No, just maybe a gilet, but no bibs, no shorts.
A bidon, for sure. But what is it about the jersey against the skin that doesn't
I don't
work?
know, man. I don't know.
Oh, that's Sam Wellsford. That's who that is.
Yeah, okay.
That's why he looks massive. Yeah.
I don't know. Just habit, you get used to it.
Interesting.
I'm going to ask you another question, and this is a trick question. So you said you do have a long sleeve base layer with you. Is that correct?
Like multiple.
Jonathan, did you consider just cutting off the sleeves?
Yes, I did. I
did. That's a big commitment. I don't know.
I did.
You even picked, I'm reading your mind right now. You picked out the one that you felt, I've had this one long enough. I can give it a try.
They're all kind of new. They're all kind of new. So it would have been really hard.
I mean, I was wearing a Cannondale long sleeve jersey this morning from like the 2012 season. So it's never too old. You're never ready to let these things go.
For people who aren't completely up to speed on the Abandon Your Family live experience at Pace Ranch lore, in the 2025 edition, Spencer graciously shuttled the Dodge Ram 2500 to Windy Point.
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah. Nice little parking lot up there.
Yeah.
Easy to do.
And when you did it in 2025, is my memory correct that you left the key on the wheel?
Well, this is like we rehearsed this, because this morning around 7:30 a.m. I was wondering the same thing.
Right.
It's like, where did I put that key? And I almost left it in the center console.
You might have last time.
But actually I didn't. I said, you know what? I don't want to explain to the rental car counter why the car was stolen. Put the keys in the car. It's out Mount Limit. We don't know where your car is. I'm sorry. Oh, you said it costs $120,000 to replace it? Oops. So I took the keys, and I remember last year I took the keys, but I left the car unlocked. And I remember this when I got to the top of the climb, and all my warm clothes were inside the car, and it was locked this year. So last year I left it unlocked, but took the keys. And that's how there was a potential break-in with a blunt smoking happening
Right.
inside the car. Yeah.
And this year you gave me the keys with the instruction to be sure to bring them.
Definitely bring them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you told me I'm not going back down to get the keys if you forget them.
I guess I could have. Yeah, that would have been quite. I would have to ride down and get your car and drive it up there.
Yeah.
That would have been something. But we were. So yeah, I drove the car up, descended down with our good friend Todd Sadow, Tucson legend, Sadow. I don't know if I'm saying his last name incorrectly, but wrote it down. Very cold, I would say. I would rate it as quite cold. But this is the tricky part about Tucson. Like, I was shaking for the first half of the descent, and then kind of hot by the time I got down to the.
I kind of wish he was here right now to recount some of the incidents that happened on the mountain, because Spencer, the way you described it, it sounded like a scene from maybe the Powder 8 scene in Aspen Extreme. Like, totally going to the limit.
Well, I picked him up at La Buzz, and it was actually, I said last night at dinner, I said, Todd, I'm driving up to the top of Lemmon in the morning. You want to come with me? Right down. He said, no, that's what you talk about. That's insane. Nobody does that. And then the idea grew in his inception, grew in his mind. And
you entered his dreams.
Yeah. And he thought, why is this not a thing? Why are we not driving to the top of road climbs and riding down them like Safa Bryan? So he came with me, but it felt like we were going surfing. Like, I'm picking him up early in the morning. We're going up. We're kind of doing this intense experience. There's like physical exertion, but it's really like a test of nerves, and you feel quite nervous about it. Cold. We're suiting up, like getting our wetsuits on, and then we're going. It was. I found it a really interesting way to experience something that I do all the time, cycling, in a very different way. I quite enjoyed it. I was happy to drive up, and I would say in quite a better vehicle this year than last year.
The big question people might have, again, if they're not steeped in the Choose the Hard Way by Beyond the Peloton by Riding With live experience in Tucson presented by Pace Ranch, is why was a car driven to the top of a mountain? And I'm going to go ahead and answer this question myself. And I'm thinking of my good friend Travis Macy here, who has a podcast, Schemo Gold. I'm appearing on an episode soon. We're going to cross post about Schemo at the Olympics, and Travis's co-host is going to be an Olympian representing the United States. Not me. I'm not the co-host. I'm just on this one episode. I'm thinking about the sport of Schemo where you skin up and then ski down. I'm actually pioneering a new style of duathlon where you ride up a climb and then you drive a car down. I think that I'm onto something here, a bit of a pioneer.
Yeah, I think you are too. I actually, so to go back to this morning, we park, Todd's local climb. You always got to be on high alert when you're on someone's local climb, especially when they volunteered before daybreak to come up, because they're trying to show you something, and they're trying to show you how fast they go down this climb. And, I'm like, well, there's ice on the road. We're going to be going like conservatively, right? No, it's like full super tucked the moment we exit the car. And I was glad I had the Colinago aero bike, because I don't know if I could have kept up with them otherwise. But I actually found it because I used to live in Maui, Haleakala, big climb, huge logistical problem, because it's the tropics where you're starting. You get to the top, it's like, great, I'm in kit. Like, now it's 35 degrees, maybe snowing on me. It's always an issue. I don't have any water. I don't have any food. Taking the car up, because you can drive the car up, you come down in warm clothes, like wear warm clothes, but then pack a second set of warm clothes, leave it in the car. Maybe you have water, maybe you have food. You ride it down, change clothes at the bottom into warm clothes, ride up to the top, and then you have your second set of warm clothes up there. I actually found that could solve a lot of problems. And a lot of people, Andrew, are not thinking as expansively as you. I don't know if anyone's ever thought about this.
As gravel approaches full gravel saturation, I think that there's a huge opportunity here particularly for apparel manufacturers, accessories, potentially helmets for the drive down. You could have drive down specific apparel
that's
by
actually
Rafa,
a really good idea.
for example.
A ride down specific helmet, drive down shoes.
Yeah.
Actually, is a big driving up. Like, what shoes am I going to wear? Got to get bare feet. I could have drive up shoes.
So while we're on this topic of rental cars, which is, I think, where we should take this conversation next, as is tradition to be maximally environmentally friendly, we all flew in at different times, and we have 3 vehicles here in the Circle Drive at Pace Ranch. Is a bit of a flex, and just kind of be aligned with the times. Let's go around the horn here and do a quick review of our vehicles. Jonathan, we'll start with you. What are you driving, and can you give us your impressions of the vehicle thus far?
I didn't know the Ford Explorer was so big. I wouldn't say it's great. I don't like the knob where you turn, park, neutral, reverse, drive. It's lame. It's lame. Also, I'm really worried because I sat on gum on Southwest on the airline on the flight here, and I didn't know it. So when I get into the rental car, now the gum is stuck on the rental car seat.
But I think you've learned how to get it off, right?
No, well, it didn't work.
You just have to freeze the car.
Yeah.
Take the car into a freezer.
Chat GPT said to put your pants in the freezer, and the gum would become hard enough you can take a credit card or something and scrape it off. Well, that didn't work.
It sounds like Chat GPT is grooming you.
Grooming me?
Yeah.
For what?
It's trying to get you to enter a relationship with the chatbot.
Well,
that is the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Of the chatbot.
Yeah.
It's also the fastest finish to podium I've ever seen.
Very.
They clearly don't know the Kansas Cycling Association tradition of you finish the race, you wait for it, maybe 2 to 3 hours before you do the podium.
We're just finalizing the results.
Yeah.
Tell people.
Oh, am I going to ever get this payout? No. Yeah. And even if you leave, you're never seeing that payout. You got to stick around. You wait.
Yeah.
Waste
That's how I lost free Domino's pizza at the Apple Cup Criterium in Columbia, Missouri in 1994. Spring of 94. Big storm blew in. Tom Brinker, if you're listening to this, I would like that Domino's pizza. Jonathan, I have to say, you look chic in that white Explorer with the black leather seats.
Thanks.
You really.
By the way, I think we all look good because we got some sun.
Okay.
Yeah, good farmer's tan.
A lot of sun.
Yeah.
8,000 feet up there.
Yeah, there was a lot of sun at 8,000 feet. I actually felt my ears beginning to burn.
Yeah.
You get that feeling?
I was feeling that as well.
Yeah, it's you're closer to the sun, of course, as you might know when you're higher off the earth. And you get, those are very large quads on that man. Oh my
really
goodness.
big
Sam
quads.
Wellsford, large quads.
Terrible kit. I'm sorry.
Well, before we move on,
No comment.
Jonathan, 2025 saw one of several infamous overheating episodes for you on the ascent of Mount Lemmon. We did discuss this base layer issue. You did leave the house in a gilet this morning, which means vest, I believe. I'm a Philistine. I don't know what to say. Jonathan, how was your temperature regulation on the climb? We haven't really gotten the report. And then we'll move on to Spencer's vehicle.
So I set out before you guys because the idea was you were going to catch me, and that's what it is. So I get down right, I'm like maybe a mile before you start the climb, and I go to grab the water bottle. It's not there. I was so focused on what to wear that I forgot to put the water bottles on the bike.
How much were you worrying about what you had on leading up to the point when you grabbed the bottle?
It consumed all my, apparently 98% of my brain.
You left that. I said, I think he's a little overdressed. He's done it again.
No, it was fine. It was totally fine. Also, good move to put the Wahoo heart rate monitor armband above the elbow. That was a good tip.
Yeah, well, that way it doesn't slide down.
Yeah. So,
right?
So anyway, I came back, get the water bottles, and then go back. And, I just got into, I was fine. Got into a rhythm. It was very nice. Guys were blowing past me like I was standing still. A lot of people coming down at that time, and a lot of cars hotboxing it. Well, you know.
Really?
Oh yeah.
But I think that's just
People puffing the Magic
think
Dragon
that's
up
just
I think
there?
they're
life
always
now.
doing it. Wherever you are, I think people are doing that.
I think that's just living.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised people are still puffing. I thought it'd be all vapes.
edibles. I don't know. I don't know why somebody would want to go drive up that mountain doing that. I think that's a real good idea.
Probably not. Yeah, I just had a couple beers driving up Lemmon.
I will. Did you notice once we got past Windy City,
Windy City, Windy Point, Windy City.
Chicago's
something that
up
really
there.
struck me that seemingly between Windy Point and then Palisades and then finally to the summit of that, I think that's the official segment, there started to be more and more trash. I just was wondering who's driving that high on a mountain just to dump some trash.
I think it's, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus here. I think it might be the people that live, like, because there's a town that we didn't make it to. I wonder if, I don't know what the trash removal service is up there. I wonder if they just throw the trash.
It had a bit of some teens or college students came up here to party air about it.
Yeah, that could, you're dispersed camping out there.
But I don't know who is in that environment of pristine pine forest, alpine environment. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dump these Mike's hard lemonade bottles right here. Spencer, let's move on to your vehicle.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because it's the GMC. I don't know if it's the GMC Yukon Denali or the GMC Denali, but it's the we saw the super stretch suburban version at dinner. It's not
Right.
that. It's the blunted version. Still, it's an absurdly big car, and it's really tall. Like, if you're an NBA player, you should buy this car today. It's made for you. But I feel like I'm climbing up into a monster truck. That's how big this thing is. Didn't have high hopes. I thought it'd be like the 2500, the Ram. We thought didn't handle it great.
Did not drive well.
Car. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was my plan was we would get this car and we would have one car and we would all be in this Yukon. Got a great price on it through a discount rental service that so far I've rented from it twice in the last month. Been good. But I think it's a great car. It has some funkiness with the screen, but I think it drives really well. A lot of the features are, I love how that American car companies like, we can't actually compete with the normal size cars, so we're just going to create monster cars. What is no one making? Monster size cars for people. But when we're driving, what do I call it? It's the friendship time in the car when we're driving around for hours in Tucson, just having a good time. We feel like we're in a living room, a mobile living room, just guys hanging out. But it puts the speed and directions like on the road in front of you. So you don't have to look anywhere.
It's like you're seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi
on the screen. And then if you're, maybe drifting out of the lane because the car is so freaking big, it buzzes your leg on the side that you're drifting from. Or if you're staring at your phone trying to call your sister a little too long and the traffic is stopped in front of you, it like buzzes the seat very hard. And then you stop the car. I would say 5 stars.
You like the safety features.
I do. I mean, the whole experience, but I would never buy this car because of what it cost, but great rental.
Something I really appreciated about it, the haptic feedback that you mentioned, nice feature. It happened at the right moments. Driving down Mount Lemmon, for example, it seemed to know when maybe I was very conservative, yet there are moments maybe you're going a little too hot into a turn.
Yep.
You're super tucking in the Denali, which weighs probably 7 tons. And it has the super large center console flip up.
Like right? Really big.
That's probably the coolest thing. And it is very large inside. I'm not sure that it's much larger than the interior of a standard minivan, though.
It might be smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. It drives well.
Looks cool.
We didn't listen to the stereo in any of the cars.
Too much friendship time.
Yeah.
There's no room for the stereo. Just us.
Yeah, we
chit-chat.
didn't mention it. Dan Swenson is not with us at the moment. It's been really wonderful to have Dan on the trip and to get to know him a bit better. You've heard about Dan on past episodes, perhaps most famous for towing me for nearly 70 miles at BWR, Kansas. And Dan has some pretty incredible stories about the season that ended his competitive career that it might be fun to have him come on and talk about in the future, especially the Unbound story. I don't want to spoil it.
I mean, if Lifetime doesn't get to him first, stops him from coming on, maybe.
Yeah.
Dan,
Targeted individual.
like Michael Clayton all over again. This
Yeah.
guy's talking. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Dan was flying today and absolutely flying. This guy was a machine. As he passed me, he probably was going nearly double my speed when he passed me on Mount Lemmon. And he made an Andy Schleck chain drop reference as he passed.
Oh,
Yeah, because I guess Dan had a chain drop. We had a nearly tragic chain incident at the house prior to the ride. The removable link.
I think it's too raw to get into that.
Yeah, Dan had his chain on backwards, I think.
Yeah. Chain. I mean, this is I would say anytime you're about to do maybe the biggest climb in North America, there is an urge to, I got to change the chain. New handlebars. You got to change something. It's probably just a little nervous energy. Dan's out there changing his chain.
Well, I think he put on a wax chain for this climb, if I understood correctly.
That could happen.
Or maybe it was for this trip, but he had a fresh Durace wax chain prepared.
But you saved the day because we lost this link. You want to talk about this? This is like Jason Bourne resourcefulness.
Michael Clayton, Jason Bourne. Who's next?
Well, when he mentioned that he was having a problem with the chain skipping in his smallest cog on the cassette, and I knew that he was on a Shimano setup, and I know that Shimano chains are unidirectional. So I said, Dan, are you sure you've got it on in the correct direction? We had to look this up, but the side of the Shimano chain that has words on it is the side that's supposed to be on the exterior facing out into the world for everyone to see, and the side without letters on it goes on the inside. So Dan took a look, seemed like that might be the fix. We got the quick link off. When you take a quick link off, you want to be in an area that doesn't have any cracks, crevices. What happens?
Yeah, and this is written. This is always going to happen. The quick links go running.
Yeah,
definitely one side went into a crevasse that, you remember this like documentary where these guys are hiking and he grabs onto his friend
into the void,
lets him go.
Yeah.
And he finds him later, I guess, but we didn't find that link.
Yeah,
that was gone.
It went into the crevasse and did not come back.
What do we do?
Found one half though pretty quickly through teamwork.
Yeah, and friendship.
Yeah.
But
hardest thing we did today, finding that.
This is a really tricky situation that we're in now because we have one side of a quick link.
Yeah,
it's like that's as useless as Dad would say something there that's probably inappropriate. But
everyone's carb window is starting to close too. Everyone had optimally carbed. I'm positive to be full carb when they hit Mount Lemmon, and you know how it is. You start to get that bonk, the pre-ride bonk.
Bonk.
Right,
you're ready for a nap.
We were entering that phase where it's like I'm gonna have to eat something else, but I'm not ready to go on slurry yet.
The real clock is I'm gonna have to poop eventually. I got to get back to this house before that comes. Yeah. But Andrew goes to really good idea actually, like these. It's a mountain bike, this Shimano chain on a mountain bike in the garage, and you go grab the quick link from that. Problem solved.
Boom. Dan's up and running. Next thing you know, he's passing us like we're standing still on this mountain.
We start the climb. It's kind of like awkward because we're all doing our P's, and then we roll up.
You can't talk because it makes it crawl back up.
So we're starting the climb, and Andrew's razzing me about how hard I'm going to go, and I do. I'm like, I don't know what. I'm at the bottom. I think I'm going to beat my PR. I'm going to beat it. It's done. I don't know why I had this thought, but then there's this guy from the U.S. national team's coming by, and I like kind of jokingly say like, "Let's get on his wheel."
I don't know. You might have only said that to yourself.
I think that was in my mind, and I get on his wheel because actually does because it starts quite flat for the first like mile. So I'm just in this guy's draft, it's easy. I'm on Easy Street. You guys are nowhere to be seen. Hadn't seen me go. So you and Dan are chasing me, and then this guy drops me like immediately the moment it gets steep. And you come up with a group of 2 guys. Dan's dropped. He's even behind you. These guys are flying. Like it's great.
I saw you. It was similar to the Tour de Tucson incident where there was no warning and you sprinted around me before the echelon.
Just as like a joke. Like it's just razzing you, you know?
And so I knew this move. I've seen this playbook before. So Spence takes off with the national team member.
Far ahead of you guys.
Like very far ahead, probably 500 yards within 10 seconds. And I thought I had no aspirations. Survival was my goal today. I had a very poor night of sleep last night, not following the evidence-backed methods that I learned building the Better Lab. I had caffeine prior to one of the most important meetings of my life yesterday. After I got off the bike, I had a coffee.
A cold brew.
I had some cold brew around 2 p.m. It was a mistake, and it led to a very poor night of sleep. And nonetheless, I got up today and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give 100% of whatever I have today, and I just need to get to the top of this mountain. It was a very long, painful day. Spencer's going up the road with the national team member, and I'm just thinking about that Tulsa Tough photo, Spencer coming around the corner as I'm watching this happen. And it's like, this is it. The breakaway has started. These 2 guys come past me, and as often happens in Tucson, just 2 super fast random people.
Yeah, just random guys.
Just random
fast.
Yeah, one of them on Specialized Pathfinder, they might have been 50s. They're 45s or 50s. So this guy's on big gravel tires, and I'm polite. So I said, hey, do you guys mind if I sit on? They said, no, go ahead. So I sit on their wheels. For me, it was high tempo, yet I knew there was a very long climb ahead. And as I watched Spencer sitting on, this national team member was probably 6 feet tall and weighed 150 pounds and had 2% body fat. And I thought, I don't think Spencer's going to hold on to this guy for too long.
This guy I found out was doing a 10-minute interval.
Yeah.
So
he's doing, it's probably,
I mean, I hit the bottom and I was doing 380 watts and I wasn't even close to holding his wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you explode off of it, or did you?
No.
You made one of your famous, I'm going to soft pedal now until.
Yeah. My plan was I'm going to let him
drift back,
let you catch me. Yeah.
You're going to sag climb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then our little group comes by. I know enough to know I'm going to just go ahead and move to the side and let Spencer sit on the wheel of these 2 guys, and I'll sit on his wheel so I can see what's going to go down. And then that was probably 8 or 9 minutes, and that's all I had.
Well, I look back, you were gone, not what I planned. And then I'm like, what do I stay on these guys' wheels?
Of course.
But
it was a free ride.
You can get in a lot of trouble doing this because I was watching my heart rate, which was coming from my wrist, which
wonderful.
So accurate, but it didn't seem to be lining up with what my internal heart rate monitor.
Yeah.
My mind was thinking. And it's like, as soon as you go a little bit over, I was just like, I can't, if I go over a threshold, it's just mathematically, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't cheat it. If you're fighting to stay on someone's wheel and it's a 2-hour long climb, you can't go over threshold.
Right.
There's no way around that. So he was pushing a little out of my range. So then I sat up and I was like, another free ride. You have to wait for Andrew now. But I actually thought, like I could have held on, but then at what cost? I probably would have gotten dropped.
That's why I sat up. I think I could have,
because you can really blow up.
I definitely could have held on for at least 5 or 10 more minutes at that pace. I just started to have the feeling of I have 2+ hours of this after this effort.
Like a long time. It's hard to comprehend it.
Also, once you let it go, though, you also, at least for me, there's always this calculus of, well, now I'm sitting in the wind by myself. How much harder was I really having to ride to stay on their wheel? But they kept doing the thing where, again, for me, it was a high tempo pace. It was around 290, 300 watts. but they kept lifting it,
like lifting
it, just like
380,
feathering it. And they probably were like, they knew the climb very, very well.
Yeah.
This is their climb.
They were like pointing stuff out and talking to each other.
Oh yeah, totally.
They like to know the spots.
Yeah. And Spencer, I know you've spent Christmas down here a few times in your earlier years, but they knew the climb better than anybody, and they knew just where to lift the pace. But they also knew probably, well, it's like a 20-second section where you give it a little, right? Yeah. Nonetheless, that's what happened there. So to get to my vehicle, Mazda CX-3, very practical wagon, incredibly loud inside when you drive it.
Quite loud, yeah.
It only has USB-C charging plugs. I'm unable to charge my phone in the car because I have a Lightning. I don't know. I'm sure there's some Lightning to USB-C, but I don't have that. I have regular USB.
Yeah. This is a problem I haven't realized. Like the type of car you're driving is the type of car I drive, or like Asian mid-sized SUV, also USB-C only.
They all look like shoes.
That's actually a good point. They do all kind of look like shoes. They look like a Vans high top.
Yeah.
Or like a Vans mid top, like a Chukka boot.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Good point, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What do you drive?
You've been in the Batmobile back home? The Subaru Crosstrek?
Why do you call it the Batmobile?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm in the CX-3. I'm having a lot of Bluetooth connectivity issues. Like when I was making the cannonball run down from Sky Harbor to Tucson, Google Maps does the thing where it tells you construction ahead, cop, etc. Every time it did that, it would stop the map and then it would go back to whatever the useless factory thing on the screen is.
Yeah.
Just what you want when you're driving the speed limit, which is rather high in Arizona, going down a highway
going 100.
Yeah, that you don't drive on very often. I have not tested the stereo, but it seems like a pretty good vehicle. Something that we neglected to mention, we've gotten in some really fantastic rides with some great people down here in Tucson. Paul from the Tour de Tucson Prologue Experience had a fantastic ride with him on, was that the first or second day? Some great rides with Dan. I've kind of established myself as a power hitter in the Tucson rolling to flat shoulder scene. That's kind of like where I've really stood out, I think. But I think for me, one of the greatest memories of this trip, it's of course the time we've had together in cars going to Mexican restaurants and many malls. That's probably number one. The second, though, it has to be the side of that velodrome when we pass it on the ride. The velodrome down here is absolutely unbelievable. Like just this unique aluminum design, elevated, air passes beneath it, which cools the track. And
which is key.
Yeah.
When it's 100.
Yeah, it'll be hot later in the year. However, just get out there for those early morning sessions. I've never been a trackie myself. It's calling me though.
It is calling me. I asked Andrew, I said, if we went up there and asked to ride it, could we? Like I think the make or break for a velodrome in a community is the accessibility. Like how easy it to like Bradley Wiggins, multi-time Olympic gold medalist on the track. He can't ride the track in his neighborhood in London because he's not certified.
Seriously?
Yeah. No, I think he should do a YouTube series where he's, it's like shows up and like, hey, I want to ride on this track. Like, no, you can't, sir. And he has to do the beginner track. You have to do these classes to like learn to ride the velodrome. I think it'd be a good series.
You can't ride to your USAC official and get that waived?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Bradley has those type of connections that we have, but
right.
I was just asking Andrew, I was like, what do you think that is like? He's like, they would let us out there. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Show up and that would be fun. So we will ride on that eventually.
Yeah. Maybe the next trip to Tucson, but just the side of that in the desert, it's almost like if they had actually built NEOM in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, or better, I think.
Yeah, or better.
Just listening.
Yeah, and really strong cycling community here in the heart of the desert in Tucson. That is going to be one of the crown jewels of the ecosystem here. I still have not ridden gravel in Patagonia. And when we were talking to Pam the other day about her big victory down there, it did make me think about pulling on the 2.1s and getting down there for a future trip.
I was looking at, I mean, I don't know if I should, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I was at the cycling house this morning talking to my friend Owen, and I looked at their itinerary for the week. Their campers coming in today, second ride, shuttle down to Patagonia.
Wow.
Yeah.
How far is it?
Yeah. It's probably like a 50-minute drive.
You know, the next time I talk to Owen, the first thing I think of when I hear that, number one, that sounds super cool. That'd be really fun to do during a Tucson trip with all the other rides that we do. The second question I have is, you have a van full of cyclists going to do a big gravel ride who've just eaten a large breakfast. Like, how right? And you know they're all nervous. It's just like us going to Lemmon.
Yeah.
Patagonia is a legendary gravel destination now. How many stops do they have on this drive?
It's a great question. This Owen would have an answer for this.
Yeah, he would definitely.
He's like, I've gamed it out. We've placed porta potties every 15 minutes along the route. Yeah, because this is a common thing. What people are wondering, they're on the edge of their seats. So what happened to Dan? He was dropped at the beginning of the climb. We never saw him again, right? No.
We came flying past me at some point, just a blur of red and orange, and then he kept going.
I mean, I'm halfway up. There's like a little flattish part, and I see this, like, I thought it was a professional triathlete because he's so aero on that road bike, and he was flying. Comes up to me. I mean, the mental fortitude to get dropped at the beginning of a climb like that.
Significantly. He was 2 or 3 minutes behind me.
Yeah.
At least.
And
which
then
is
dropped
really
his
far
chain
behind.
In addition to that.
Yeah.
And then just to buckle down and like I cannot explain how mentally defeating these climbs are. Like, it's like 2 hours of climbing. Like, are you kidding me? And he was probably going he was going so fast, caught me. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go as slow as I can until he catches me. So my heart rate's low so I can get on his wheel. And he pulled me the last hour of the climb. Like, I was doing everything I could to stay on his wheel.
Well, you can tell we learned a lot about Dan this week. One of the things that we learned was that he came into the sport as a triathlete originally. And I think that what you're describing, if I'm understanding this correctly, he didn't sit up and soft pedal maybe 30 yards behind you for 30 seconds and then sprint past you, which is really the move when you're catching your friend on a climb.
He did also mention he's never won a race before. It could be a correlation there.
So he just like rode directly up to you at a steady pace.
Yeah,
am I understanding this correctly?
A very predictable, steady pace. I knew exactly what he was going to do.
How about that?
We did catch the second guy from the group of the fast two guys at the very top. So
with the guy on gravel tires, right?
And
that's insane.
Definitely probably would have finished behind him had I tried to stay with him. So
yeah,
it ended up, that's like, yeah, that is insane to ride that whole thing with gravel tires.
That's at least, I don't care what people on YouTube say, on a climb like that, it's got to be at least 30 watts slower than a nice road tire.
It's so much weight that's just rotating.
Well, once you get it up to speed, though,
it's like it's helping you.
Yeah,
you're a gyroscope, right?
Yeah, and then just this dinner at Guadalajara, following this with the chili relleno, which was impeccable. Jonathan, tell us a little bit about your trip to the Oasis today.
So I came back, had some lunch, changed, went out again because I wanted to add another 1,000 feet. And then Spencer and Dan came flying down the hill. And then I saw Spencer. So I turned around I'd climbed 828 feet. And then on
that's your low back tattoo we get tonight.
Okay.
828.
And then I saw Spencer. So I turned around and chased him before, of course, he's, a mile ahead of me. So I called him. I said, hey, wait up. So he did. And then he took me on a little tour. We saw the Oasis. Pretty cool.
Well, can you tell us what the Oasis is?
The Oasis is...
Most people listening to this don't know what it is.
It's a little park not too far from here where there's a body of water in the middle of the desert.
And what's surrounding that body of water?
Oh, palm trees. Yeah.
Planted or natural?
Where did they come from?
Yeah, that's not a trick question. We don't
It's a
know.
big question.
God
Where
put 'em
did
there?
It's got to be. It could be God. It could also be bird poop. I guess. I actually don't quite
How they grow? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
do these mountains here seem a little suspicious to you?
What do you, no, not until now. But now that you mentioned
Like, what exactly are they doing here?
it.
I do have to say, there is like this purplish hue at sunset. It's really, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's just like
The
very
light just
relaxing.
dancing off them.
Yeah. I mean, sunrise too. Oof.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of Arizona's kind of nice because they're not on. There's no time change. They keep the same time all year round.
They're doing their
Jonathan worked in a time change reference. And like, you're the only person I know who knows all the time zones. So like Pacific time. You're like, no, actually it's Pacific Junior delayed time, because Pacific Standard Time, that's only half the year. Like, what are these time zones?
Well, Andrew and I had a discussion when I first got here what time it was back east.
It is a little.
One of us.
I
is
was-
a 3-hour time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 hours. I'll admit it here. I was wrong because I came here to grow.
I was paranoid that I didn't know what time it was. Then I'm like, well, okay, I know it says that, but did everything change? Like, what? I'm Googling what time is it in Tucson right now?
Yeah.
Get your time figured out here.
Well, what time it is for me pretty soon is we're about an hour plus past Jonathan's
smokes.
bedtime.
Nope.
Something we learned about Jonathan on this trip is he's going to bed early these days. And what I'm doing next is I'm making the decision, am I going to go on that ride in rush hour traffic here in Tucson in the morning, or am I packing the bike? I did notice that all of us are on, you might think it's pronounced SciCon. It's pronounced SciCon. That's right. I just blew your mind. SciCon bags. That's what we all use to transport our bikes here. I was trying out the protection package, which sounds like I had an arm guard, but it's additional
protection package.
Yeah, they send a
over your
protection
back, right?
asset that guards your bike. Now, it's additional padding that goes around the bars and the rear triangle. And I love my SciCon case. It's been a complete game changer for travel with the bike for me.
Game changer.
Do you agree?
I don't even. I'm just gonna be silent. The silent protest. People don't understand how Kip and I want to do a feature episode on how traveling with bikes used to be.
Oh,
the anxiety, especially if you had the Oru case where you had to take your fork off, take your crank off. You were 3 days out from the departure. I was stressed about packing this thing. Oh my God. But the SciCons, we're not getting paid to talk about this, by the way. We just like the product. You just pop out there, throw it in. It's unbelievable. And then you don't have to adjust anything. Most airlines now too, this stress, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but so the stress of the bag fee used to dominate my life.
Oh, am I over 50 pounds? Like that kind of?
Yeah. And Kip and I got these bags that looked like just little massage table cases, like the ones you'd have to take everything apart. We show up to the airport.
Art.
I go to it's art. It's a display piece. What's in there? A bunch of junk, which is true. But it's like classic me. Like I just ditch Kip and end up in a more favorable area without communicating to him where I'm going. I don't know. I think I said in my head I was going here. So I get through no problems. Kip shows up to this less nice check-in area, checking in his bag. Stop me if I've told this before. They say, what's in there? He says, massage table. The guy clearly doesn't believe him. He says, it's a massage table? He said, yeah. He said, well, massage tables cost $400 to fly with. Bike's $250. The Kip has hit a point here where he has to make a decision. Does he admit he was lying and pay $250, or say it's a massage table and pay almost twice as much? No, of course. You know the answer to this. No, it's a massage table. Doesn't let this guy bully him into the truth and he pays the elevated price for the massage table. And now you just roll these freaking monstrosities up, and they don't ask any questions. They just take it. It's crazy. It's fantastic. It's a glorious time, like in Goodfellas.
Always so entertaining in the airport as well. When I was on the light rail taking the 20-minute journey,
so many people
between Sky Harbor and the rental car area
going around.
This couple were walking towards me, and it's on fully 360 pivoting wheels, 4 of them, and I'm leading the case. The case starts to go sideways. It's controllable. It's not a big problem. It's just kind of funny. And then, they're giving me the side eye, and then we get on. Of course, we get on the same light rail car, and then people are just fascinated. What's in there? Is that a drum set?
Yeah.
Do you play the tuba?
It looks comically like a bike.
It
couldn't be anything else.
At the Hilton East, I had 2 people in the same elevator who got in at different times. They asked, "Is that a musical instrument?"
They might have been propositioning you, Jonathan.
Definitely not.
I played the drums in our room. That's what the Hilton East is known for.
I didn't have that couple ask me if I had a drum set, but there's a through line here.
It's a community, a thriving community.
Yeah, it's kind of code.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the bag is phenomenal. I need to get out there and get that bag stuffed with my Lauf Utold, which performed fantastic down here in Tucson. Last year, I was on the Canyon rim brake bike with 25 mil gator skins. Wow. Pumps at probably 85 PSI.
Tires.
I got to say, it's really nice to be on an all-road bike that eats the vibration, 32 mil tires, Fram red, 12-speed. It's been nice.
And I know our dear friend, Durian Ryder, is a big rim brake guy, big abandon your family guy.
Just like don't even have a family. That's the Durian Ryder point of view.
His caption was ditch the nagging wife and the ungrateful kid. It's like has he been listening? And get a rim brake bike.
Yeah.
And I will say he has some good points.
Definitely.
On all of those claims. But the thing about rim brake is you don't get the big 32s, and it makes all the difference on roads like this.
Yeah, and the wide internal diameter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on these MV rims.
I'm envying your MVs.
They are.
I want to go wider.
You gotta. It's like in the MV office, they must say, "How wide are the tires?" They're this wide. Let's go wider.
Let's go wider.
We can go wider. We can go wider. Like they're so freaking wide, and they're so comfortable because of it.
And tomorrow the trip ends. We go back to our respective
stroke
cold areas of the country. Yeah. And then there will be the next great gathering. Stay tuned. There may be a Shakeout Ride World Tour coming to Emporia. Spencer, I believe you have some other obligation. You might be living in Europe or something at that time, but Emporia is calling.
I could fly back for that.
Emporia, I mean, Mate Mohoric did it.
He
ruined his tour.
He's never been the same.
Never been the same athlete. Never recovered from the trip to Emporia, as has happened to many athletes, including Dan Swenson.
When is Unbound? Is it like first week?
It's usually it's Memorial Day weekend or the weekend after.
True abandon your family event.
Yeah, totally.
It might be acquired by the Abandon Your Family series.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. We could all get bandanas and gigantic flat brim hats.
We were workshopping how to fit in as many shakeout rides in a day.
Yeah.
Dinner tonight.
Yeah, Dan actually said it might be difficult because they tend to be clustered around certain times. That sounds like a problem waiting to be solved.
Yeah, we got it. It's gonna. I think we cut out the razzing, the lost episode last night. That shall maybe subscriber only, maybe never to be released. We'll go to the Smithsonian after we die, or we'll go to a respective
time capsule, or maybe etched into a gold record launched in outer space.
People leave their diaries to their university.
Yeah,
are we just gonna hand our phones over?
Possibly.
Here, have the chat,
the Riverside login.
Yeah. Students forever can watch it. But Jonathan, we were razzing you about catastrophizing about the weather, but your weather looks seriously bad for the next few
It's really
days.
bad. It's really bad. Now they're going to get another 6 to 9 inches of snow.
That's ridiculous.
Again, people in the DMV know this, but the snow removal policy in that part of the country is April.
I mean, like my street never gets plowed. Like they just don't plow the streets in Boulder,
Yeah.
and we just drive our cars on them. Do you think that would not work in DC?
I think because there was the snow and then there was sleet, so there's ice on top.
Definitely, if you're getting 9 more inches, that's going to be a
There's
problem.
going to be a huge
I think
problem.
it actually makes it way more drivable when you put the scenario you just described, Jonathan, where you have an icy base. Once you get snow on top of that and it's packed down, that's way more drivable than just ice.
I mean, if you watch Beartown on HBO, great, I would say intense show, but very good show. You know, it's like set north of the Arctic Circle. Ex-NHL player comes to his hometown to coach his junior hockey team. But they're just driving. Yeah, they're just driving on the snowpack.
Just driving around,
With
driving
chains.
cars.
No chains.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have an all-wheel drive car,
Yeah.
it'll be good.
That's what it's built. Subarus are the best cars for driving on snow. It's
They
what they're
are.
built for. Like
Yeah, it's
of
true.
all cars I've ever driven,
That's why everybody
that's
has
the car.
them in Colorado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the best car in the world for driving on snow.
Well, we'll see when I get home. I'm going to take that baby out.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the weather. I don't know what it's probably horrible where I'm
Just
landing.
terrible.
Yeah,
no,
'cause
it's as
after-
cold in Washington, D.C. as it is in Maine. I was looking.
It's really cold at DC. It's like high of 19.
It's 19. Yeah,
That's
19,
really
20.
cold.
I mean, it's just not built to handle
That's
that kind of weather.
actually pretty warm compared to the conditions I left.
It's
that's a
just
warm
not.
day.
It's not
Yeah,
built to handle.
yeah. I don't know. I didn't look at the conditions in Boston where I'll be landing after a 12-hour day of travel tomorrow, and then I'll be driving 4 hours in a car. I think it's going to be fine. We'll find out, and stay tuned. We've got more coming up from Choose the Hard Way, Beyond the Peloton, and Riding With. Thanks again to Pam Alexander for having us down here to Pace Ranch, and to everyone in the Tucson cycling community for all of your support. We'd love to come back soon. We want to make it down to Patagonia. We want to see what that logistical situation is for that drive. and we'll be back. And
There's just a toilet in the back of the van.
yeah,
Yeah.
and wherever you listen, please hit subscribe and hit 5 stars. As you know, when we hit 500 5-star reviews, it's going to unlock a very special edition of Kip's Corner. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening.